Today I'm going to be making crispy, chewy, molten chocolate chip cookies that are somehow even faster and even simpler than the recipe on the back of the chocolate chip bag. They have also been called the internet's favorite cookie. This recipe comes from Tara O'Brady, and it was originally published in her cookbook, 7 Spoons, back in 2015. And now it is also in this brand new cookbook that is out now for real, the Simply Genius cookbook. Here is why it is so simple and genius. The recipe that's on the back of the chocolate chip bag calls for softened butter, which means that you need to remember to take the butter out of the fridge half an hour before you want to start making cookies. This recipe does away with all of that. You're using cold butter straight from the fridge, you're using eggs straight from the fridge, and you are mixing them all together just in a bowl with a wooden spoon or a spatula. So I'm going to get this very cold, very hard butter straight from the fridge melting. And in the meantime, here's Tara to tell you a little bit more about how she came up with this genius recipe.
It wasn't a quick journey to this cookie. It's really easy to say why I did it, but saying how I did it took about 2.5 years. The first cookie was vastly different. It required a mixer, whereas the recipe now does not. It required about 10 minutes of creaming when it came to the butter and the sugar. It had resting periods. It was a really involved recipe. But the root of it was that butter and sugar. That long mixing, that agitation is a physical way to break down sugars. And what I was looking for was the fudgy quality you get with brownies. So somehow along those years, in 700-ish cookie batches, I came up with the idea of, well, brownies start with melted butter. Why don't I try melted butter here? And that's where everything changed. So it suddenly was a no mixer required, cold fridge eggs, cold fridge butter, bowl and a spoon, fast cookie recipe.
All right, now the only part about this recipe that really takes any time is chopping the chocolate, but luckily that fits perfectly into the time that it takes to melt your butter over low heat. So I'm just going to chop these a little bit. Tara likes to go for a mix of sizes about 1/2 inch to a third of an inch and some finer little bits. So mine happen to be in these already beautiful little discs. I'm only gonna chop them a little bit more. But you could also just use a regular chocolate bar. You could use big discs or fevs like this. Tara has a specific reason why she likes to use chocolate like this as opposed to chocolate chips, and I will let her tell you more about that while I finish chopping this chocolate.
The reason I like something that is an unstabilized chocolate is because I'm looking for cookies that puddle. I want them to spread because that will give you that thin, crisp edge, and it's the actual physical melting action. Think about how if you watch something melting in the microwave, it drops and spreads, and there's force there, and I want to take advantage of that force when it comes to how the cookie bakes because that will help push it outwards.
All right, that seems like a good mix. There's actually one more thing that we can do to get ahead before the butter's finished melting, which is mix together our dry ingredients. Here's some all-purpose flour, here's some baking powder, baking soda, and fine sea salt. And I'm just gonna whisk it all together. So that butter that's melting, I should not hear any crackling. It should not be letting off steam. We're trying to melt it very gently so that we don't lose moisture. But if you were to accidentally discover, uh-oh, it's steaming, it's kind of been boiling, Tara actually has a trick for resolving that. So here she is to tell us a little bit more about that, and then we'll finish mixing these together.
Melting the butter slowly instead of something that you would do for something like a brown butter is really retaining the water content of that butter. I am looking for the butter to dissolve the sugars, and sugars are water soluble. They are not fat soluble. And so we need that water there. So you don't want a bubbling, crackling pot of butter. If that ends up happening, you can always measure it afterwards and add back that volume of water to it, because without that, your dough will come out too dry.
And now I'm just going to whisk in 2 kinds of sugar, regular granulated sugar and some brown sugar. And one of the things about the ratios that Tara discovered work best for her particular cookie recipe is a good amount more brown sugar than white sugar for extra moisture and deliciousness. So Tara says this will look a little bit lumpy at first, but not to worry, it will smooth out as you whisk. All right, that's pretty smooth. Now, fridge cold eggs, one at a time. It needs to be whisked in well before I add in the next one. Okay, next, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. There it is. 2 teaspoons of vanilla, which is double what a lot of chocolate chip recipes have. Another reason that this is so good. Okay, now we are switching over to a silicone spatula and just stirring in those dry ingredients we mixed together before. And now when there's still just a little bit of flour remaining, we're gonna stir in the chocolate and it'll finish mixing in that flour. Stay out of my phone slot. All right, that's it. We have cookie dough. And unlike so many other chocolate chip cookie recipes, we don't have to chill this or freeze it or anything. We can go straight to rolling and baking right now. Tara likes her cookie dough balls to actually be quite big, 3 tablespoons in each one. And Tara does that because it gives you the best mix of textures. You get the really soft to the chewy to the crispy on the edges, and you wouldn't get that if you were making smaller cookies. And because they are so big, you do want to space them out really well, or they're all gonna flood into one big cookie. Also not the end of the world. About 3 inches apart. And Tara says that if your dough has started to look a little bit glossy, which mine is, it's pretty warm in here, you can stick them in the fridge for 5 minutes. These just spent their 5 minutes in the fridge. They're looking less glossy. I'm gonna throw them in the oven with a little bit of flaky salt on top. Those are gonna bake for about 10 to 12 minutes, rotating partway through. But most importantly, you're looking for the visual cues to tell you that it's done. In Simply Genius, I wanted to have a visual guide for what to look for when your cookies were in the oven, and then show how they would turn out after they cooled. Obviously, most cookies are going to be wonderful when they are fresh and warm out of the oven, but we want a cookie that is going to be great in an hour, in a day, even longer. So here's Tara to tell us a little bit more about what to look for in these particular cookies when they're coming out of the oven, so that they will cool to be exactly as chewy and crisp as you want.
You're looking for a light ring of golden around the edge that will be darker than the rest of the cookie, but the cookie should be fairly uniformly tan across the top. The center of the cookie should be fully puffed. It will drop down as it cools. If ever you want it to cool a little bit faster, you can wrap the pan against the stove as you take it out, and that will just expedite that process, but it should do so when it's cooling. Look for that puff, that darker ring around the edge, and then uniformly golden across the top. Just a really light tan.
Okay, these look pretty beautiful. They are a little golden. They have these cracks. They're dry on top, but still a little soft in the middle. And now they're going to cool for 2 minutes on the pan, and then I will take them off to finish cooling. These have cooled for 2 minutes. Whoa. I'm going to scoop them all onto
Jesus Observe the technique.
These have cooled for 2 minutes. I'm going to now carefully transfer them over here to this wire rack to finish cooling so their bottoms will stay crispy. And this is the only tray of these cookies that I'm going to bake for my family right now. I've got all the rest of them balled up, ready to go. Here is Tara to tell you more about why I did that.
What I often do is that I bake one tray right away, maybe 2 trays right away, but then save a portion of the dough pre-shaped for the freezer. And by pre-shaped, I mean go all the way, scoop it out, dish it out, and then roll it into those balls, individually freeze it on a parchment lined tray before transferring it to an airtight container and then baking off from there. So I love the fact that then I can bake 1 or 2 cookies. I mean, this is a fast recipe. I can get cookies from 30 minutes, but it's really lovely when on a late night you can throw a couple in the toaster oven and then you have cookies in 15 minutes. So you're cutting a very short time into an even shorter time.
Oh, yes. Ooh. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Tara, you are incredible. So you can see like crispy edges, soft middle, chocolate striations throughout. Tara really is a mad genius. She has made these cookies so many times and really thought through every aspect of them, and she also has so many great ideas for riffing on them. She talked about all of that and more in this week's episode of the Genius Recipe Tapes, which you can find anywhere you get your podcasts. And today is it. Today is officially launch day for this cookbook that I spent the last 4 years working on. I'm probably gonna cry. You are in this book. Every time I have asked for help in these videos and wanted to know a smarter way to do something than the way that I was stumbling around doing it, you always shared your tips so kindly. And I included some of that in this book, and it really would not be the same without the community wisdom that I was gathering and frittering away all of these years. So I hope that you find some new favorites in this book, new recipes and tips that will fit simply into your life too. I am going to be featuring more recipes from the book right here, so be sure to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of them. Thank you so much. I will see you soon.
Nice.
Whew.
Swish.
Okay. Thank you so much. Wow, what a day.